Hello，你好，欢迎回来，Welcome back to Wisdom Wednesday with Johnny Tiger on March 22nd, 2023. Today I want to talk to you about one of the many Chinese gods in the um, chiefly the Taoist religion, although he has been mentioned, or at least his story have been written into the Buddhism uh, pantheon, at least in the Chinese Buddhism pantheon as well. But before I go into the very interesting and convoluted history and origin of this war god, I want to show you guys my artwork, which is the reason why we are talking about him today. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are blind like myself and couldn't see the picture, at least I hope some people can see the picture. The picture depicts a man with long hair and beard. He is very well built. He's dressed in a loose Chinese style, ancient Chinese robe. He's got a sword in his left hand, and his right hand is raised in a either magic casting or waving gesture. And there's lightning, there are lightning bolts that come down from the heaven around him. He is barefoot, and under one foot is a snake, under the other foot is a turtle. This is what I draw from my memory of being told what the Lord Zenwu, uh, the demon slayer god or the god of the north, looked like from stories when I was told when he was little. Lord Zhenwu was widely worshipped throughout China for quite a few hundred years. But about 200 years ago, due to several political reasons, he slowly faded out from people's memory. And apparently, he is having a comeback right now in Taiwan and parts of China. People are starting to worship him again. He is commonly known in Mandarin as 北极玄天大帝. Basically, uh, a loose translation is the heavenly lord of the north. He is often tasked or believed to be tasked with keeping peace around the mortal world. Basically, he is the enforcer. He is a guy who comes down to deal with demonic beings and evil spirits, zombies, vampire, werewolf. Anytime there's evil may rear its ugly head, the god of the north and his uh, 36 generals would be there with their army to stomp it out. Yeah, he's not like alone. He has 36 really powerful generals under his command, and they're all uh, like really interesting gods and goddesses in their own rights. But we are not going to cover them today. We want to look at Lord Zenwu himself, 真武大帝 himself. Honestly, the chief reason why I'm doing this episode, uh, because this did sort of come out of the blue. We're talking about history and culture, and suddenly I bring you something that's a little bit more akin to uh, mythology and religion. Well, the reason we're talking about this today is because the story is actually quite interesting. It makes a really good story. And I know some of you have told me that you enjoy the little story times we have on Wisdom Wednesday sometimes. Also, because I have been asked by so many people uh, to elaborate on the origin of that particular piece of tactile art. And when I'm writing descriptions for art shows and stuff like that, even when I'm standing there talking to people, I can't go into all the details because the origin of 真武大帝, Lord Zenwu, is very, very long and involved. So I figure that if I make it into a video, then at least in the future, if someone's really interested, if someone even purchased that piece of artwork, then they can refer to this video to learn more about exactly who is this really badass looking character. So without further ado, let me take you back to a time long time ago. How long ago? No one knows for sure. So we just go back to a long time ago and far away in the heavenly court with the Jade Emperor. One day, the Jade Emperor was having a party in the Jade Palace. Now, for those of you who are not really up to date on the Chinese religion and mythology, the Jade Emperor is, well, basically the leader, the patriarch of heaven in Chinese mythology. But don't get him confused with like equivalent of God in Christian or Catholic religion, because the Jade Emperor is more like he's the guy in charge, but he did not create the world. He did not he did he's not like know everything and has everything under his control and responsible for everything. No, the Chinese religion, Chinese pantheon work more like the Greek mythology, the Roman mythology, or the Egyptian mythology, where there's multiple gods, multiple goddesses. There's a political system up there in heaven, and everyone got their own power and abilities and jurisdictions, and everyone's responsible for different things. That's more how the Chinese mythology work. So the Jade Emperor, while he is immensely powerful, he is a leader of all the gods and goddesses. He is more like Zeus than the Catholic or Christian god. Okay? He's a leader. He's not like the creator or anything. So the Jade Emperor, he loved a good party. At least I kind of feel that he liked a good party because every time we see him being portrayed in books or movies or literature, he's always depicted sitting at the head of the table at this giant in this giant room, really well decorated with all the wealth and riches, all the treasures in the world, and all the other gods and goddesses are sitting around the table eating. Usually, this is how he depicted. Like you very rarely see the Jade Emperor depicted doing other stuff. Okay, so Jade Emperor was having a great party up in the heavenly court. Now, uh, when you're up there in the heavenly court, you can just look down, and it's almost like the floor is transparent, and you can just look down and see what's going on in the mortal world. At least that's my impression of it. I've never been there. So anyway, um, the Jade Emperor looked down, and he saw that somewhere up north toward the Arctic Circle, there's a great tree with a lot of beautiful lights and colors. I mean, he didn't understand Christmas tree. Yeah, I mean, uh, we 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 reading this from our perspective now, we're thinking, oh, well, maybe he just saw a Christmas tree. But back then, the Jade Emperor didn't know what am I looking at? What is this? So he immediately asked his royal advisors. He said, what is that tree? What is that glowing tree down in the mortal world? And the advisors said, Your Majesty, one of the northern kingdoms, the king of one of the northern kingdoms, has this treasure in his keeping. It's been there for many, many generations. It's this tree that grow in his yard, and this tree, when it's nighttime, have all the colors, all the light of every star in the universe. Ooh, that got the Jade Emperor's attention. Like the Jade Emperor was thinking, I am the supreme ruler of everybody. I rule gods, goddesses, dragons, phoenix, killings, all the great and small beasts in the world. Everyone have to pay tribute to me. I have all the treasure in the world. At least I thought I did until now. I don't have a tree like I want a tree like that. How how can I get a tree like that? So the Jade Emperor said to his royal guards, go down to the mortal world and ask the king of the Northern Kingdom to give that tree to me, his Jade Emperor. Give that tree to me as a tribute to heaven, and I will bless him for every generation. The royal advisor quickly interjected. He said, Your Majesty, it doesn't work that way. And the Jade Emperor said, What do you mean? I'm the Jade Emperor. If I want a goddamn tree, I can have a goddamn tree. Go get it. Royal advisor said, No, you don't understand. This tree is bound to their bloodline. So if it is cultivated and in the presence of people from that bloodline, it will glow like all the stars in heaven. If you move it, if you take it, it will just turn to a regular boring old tree. It won't be anything important if you take it. Ah, the Jade Emperor was really, really disappointed. And he said, Darn it, but I want that tree. Ah, darn, I wish I was of their bloodline. Whoops. Everybody in the heavenly court went quiet and looked at him. And Jade Emperor said, What? What did I say? The royal advisor said, Your Highness, your Majesty, Your Greatness, you are the Jade Emperor. You can't just start making wishes. Because every time you make a wish, every time you make a decree, it has to come true. Otherwise, you will lose your status as the Jade Emperor. The Jade Emperor said, So what? Well, Your Majesty, you just said you wish you were their bloodline. What are you going to do? The Jade Emperor said, Well, obviously I can't go down and become their bloodline just like this. I am the Jade Emperor. I have a lot of important things I need to do up here. I can't just go down there. Uh, shoot. Ah, I hate these stupid rules. Tell you what, because I'm so God Almighty, I'm so powerful, and I can do things like this, I'm just going to take one piece of my soul and send it down there. So one piece of my soul can go down to the mortal world and reincarnate uh, to be their bloodline, and that will make my wish come true, and I won't have to leave my post, and everyone will be happy. And you know what? Because it's a piece of my soul, so that piece of soul will be so powerful it can become a god, a demigod, very easily. Yeah. So this won't hardly be any trouble at all. I'll send a piece of my soul down there. My soul will reincarnate into their family, and then my double, you can say my mortal double, will uh, uh, practice and study to become an immortal and become a demigod, and then we'll be reunited in no time at all. That was the plan. Like, according to the Jade Emperor way of thinking, the plan was really quite simple. Okay, I made a mistake. I said I wish I was their bloodline. So now I have to send a piece of my soul down there to the mortal world to make that a reality. That's fine. That's fine. You know, my soul is it's a soul, a piece of the Jade Emperor's soul. It got to be really powerful, right? So it can become a powerful god in no time at all and come back to heaven, and we can get reunited. Well, things didn't really work out that way, because I don't know if the Jade Emperor forgot. Uh, when you reincarnate, when you go down to the mortal world and become mortal, uh, you forget everything that come before. So that's why you and I, none of us remember our previous life, right? Uh, because you start with a clean slate. Uh, you can be the most powerful soul. You can be a piece of the Jade Emperor's soul, but you still start as a baby. You don't know anything. You don't remember anything. uh, which means you also don't know how things work. You don't know how all these heavenly rules work. Okay, this will come back and bite him in the butt a little bit later. So, a piece of the Jade Emperor's soul was taken out and cast down into the mortal world and reincarnate in the Northern Kingdom. Uh, the royal prince grew up and true to the Jade Emperor's expectation, because he is very special. This royal prince grew up strong and mighty and smart. He's the smartest person in the kingdom, strongest person in the kingdom, and a great looking guy. And he succeeded the throne at the tender age of 12 and started ruling the kingdom and was doing better than any other king that came before him. But one of the gods that was tasked to overlook the development of this piece of the Jade Emperor's soul went down to the mortal world and came to the newly crowned king and said, I am your guardian angel. Well, okay, he didn't actually say guardian angel because that's not a Chinese religion thing, but I'm trying to make this story comprehensible. So just bear with me. He said, I am your guardian angel. I'm from the heaven. And you don't know this, but you are part of the Jade Emperor. Think of yourself as the Jade Emperor's mortal clone or mortal double. It's not your job to be here ruling the kingdom and partying and enjoying yourself and fighting wars. That's not what you're here for. You should dedicate your life to studying Taoism, studying the decrees of gods and goddesses, studying the sacred text and holy books, because you are only here by accident. You're here because of something that the Jade Emperor said by mistake. So your only task in life should be get back to the heavenly court. Right? So you're not here to enjoy being a king. You're not here to enjoy wealth and power. You need to get on to become a god. The king, trusting the word of this immortal, gave his kingship away, gave his kingdom away, and went off into the mountain. And he sat in front of a mighty waterfall for 25 years. Yeah, I don't know how he. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean, he is like part god or something, so I guess that's possible. Anyway, he sat in front of the waterfall for 25 years and then uh, became almost a god. He started to gain some godly powers and abilities and became one of the immortals. One day, one of the neighboring kingdoms the king and queen decided to come to visit this waterfall because they heard everybody's talking about there's an immortal, there's a demigod sitting in front of the waterfall. He is amazing. He's good looking, he's powerful, he can do amazing stuff. So this king and queen from a neighboring country came to visit, and the queen, upon seeing this beautiful, beautiful man, I mean, come on, think about it. This guy is a piece of the Jade Emperor's soul. So he's not even like an ordinary god. He is like a piece of the leader of all gods, right? So obviously he is going to be gorgeous, powerful, muscular, tall, and all that stuff. Whatever you think is good looking in the guy, that's what he is. Okay, just close your eyes and imagine in your head what is the most good looking guy in the world, and that's what the guy would look like. The queen immediately fell in love with him, and the queen said to the immortal, and the queen said, if I can have a son that look as good as you, I would die happy. Ooh, I mean, back then, this is a really bold, come on, this is a really bold way to hint, giving him a hint, I want to sleep with you, right? Well, the immortal, this mortal version of the Jade Emperor, looked at the queen and he sighed and he said, "Well, I have something so important I need to do this lifetime. I have to regain my godhood and all that stuff. So unfortunately, I can't make your wish come true. Maybe in another lifetime." Whoops! Maybe in another lifetime. Now, let me jog your memory. The original plan of the Jade Emperor was, okay, I throw my piece of soul down there. He's going to grow up and try to learn to become immortal, and then he become a god, come back to the heavenly court, and then him and I, we get reunited. Okay, we become one again. That's it. That's it. Game over. We can move on. We can forget about this unpleasantness. But remember, I said that because he's the Jade Emperor, everything he says sort of have to come true. And now his mortal self, not knowing this stipulation, not knowing this rule, casually said, maybe in another lifetime, which condemned himself to go through this again. Basically, his hope of going back to the heavenly court went bye bye. Okay, sorry, dude. You have to start over. You can't come back to heaven because you just said another lifetime, which means you got to stay down here to do another lifetime. Oops. His guardian angel, the god that uh, told him about who he was and why he need to leave his throne and all that stuff, appeared in front of him. This guy was so mad. He's like, "You frick idiot! You freaking idiot! Why did you just say that?" And the immortal was like, "What did I say?" Yeah, just like the Jade Emperor. And this guardian angel said, "You said another lifetime. You said another lifetime. You bloody said another lifetime. What about that? She wanted to sleep with me. I don't want to sleep with her, so I said maybe another lifetime." Look, you idiot. You are part of the Jade Emperor. So the Jade Emperor can't make wishes or promises without making it come true, nor can you. I'm going to tell you this now, okay? You might as well just like kill yourself right here because you just wasted your entire life. Your only purpose here was so you can become a god and go back to the heavenly court, and you just messed that up. You, it's bye bye. You have to start over. In desperation, the now very dejected mortal version of the Jade Emperor threw himself off the cliff down the waterfall and killed himself. The queen, upon witnessing the death of an immortal, also threw herself over the cliff in grief, and she died as well. Well, this really sucked for the king, right? I mean, we, we just came here to see the immortal demigod dude, and then my wife talked to him, and then the dude threw himself off the mountain, and then my wife threw herself off the mountain. Like, what the hell? What the hell? Oh well, uh, time to find another wife. So the king went back to the palace and found himself a new wife. And pretty soon, this new wife was pregnant. And the child, you guessed it, second time go around with the Jade Emperor's soul. Now he reincarnated into this new prince in the belly of the new queen. And this basically it played out like before. Okay, now, don't forget he reincarnated. He had no memory of anything that happened before, so he had to go through the whole thing, growing up, and he's the strongest child in the country, in the kingdom. He's good looking, he's smart, and all that stuff. And then at the age of 12, the king died, and then he succeeded the throne, and he's ruling the kingdom really, really well, the best king they ever had. And yes, just like before, suddenly one day there's an immortal poof come out in front of him that appear out of nowhere and say, I am going to tell you a story. I am your guardian angel, and you were a piece of the Jade Emperor's soul, and you're not here to rule a kingdom. You have to go into the mountain because it is your job to learn how to use magic and how to become a god and understand all the holy text, so you can go back and rejoin your predecessor in the heavenly court. That's your purpose here. Yeah, deja vu, right there, right? I mean, the second time around and the first time around basically the same. So, the royal prince again, like just like before, gave away his throne, and went into the mountain. This time he sat on the top of the mountain. There's no waterfalls this time. He sat on the top of the mountain for 30 years. Okay, last time was 25 years. This time he was there for 30 years. And he worked really, really hard, became really, really powerful, learned all the tips and tricks a god need to have, all the magical tricks and stuff like that. And finally, one day, his guardian angel decided, I think he's about ready. Let's test him because there is one test he needs to pass. Is he able to govern his mouth, basically. So the guardian angel said to him, "Okay, for your final test, uh, for your final test, you have to bring me a peach. You have to go down to the village at the foot of the mountain. You have to go buy me a peach. And this peach have to be the biggest, juiciest, reddest peach in the world. And no other peach will do. You must return to me with the peach within 1 day." Well, the mortal version of the Jade Emperor is a very powerful immortal, the very powerful demigod. He thought, well, I am almost like a god. You want me to go get your peach? What? Why don't I just create you a peach? Why don't I just create one for you? And the guardian angel said, no, 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 no. You can't do it that way. Okay, that's cheating. You have to go down to the village and you have to get me a peach without using magic. Okay, fine. Wait here. And the immortal walked down to the village. I mean, obviously he's very strong, he's very powerful, so walking down to the village is no problem for him. So he went down to the village. And there's only one person selling peaches in the village. This person, a very attractive young lady, uh, selling peaches, and she has a sign in front of her stall that says, "My peach is the biggest and the best in the world." Now, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of knowledge that the poor immortal, poor godling doesn't know or didn't know. This woman selling the peach was actually disguised by another god. It's a goddess in disguise. The guardian angel asked her to help test this youngling. Okay, so this girl selling peaches, she said to the immortal, "Well, my peach is going to worth 1,000,000 gold pieces." And the the godling is like, 1,000,000 gold pieces. God, I mean, I've been sitting on top of the mountain for 30 years, lady. Where am I going to give you? Can come up with 1,000,000 gold pieces to give you? Especially when that old fart up there told me that I can't use magic. No magic must be involved. Like, if I can use magic, I can give you 10,000,000 gold pieces, no problem. But, like, well, I don't have any money. But the lady said, "Well, you are a very good-looking guy, and how about you spend the night with me in my bed, and then you can have the peach?" And they go, "No, no, 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 no. No, you don't understand. I am like this close as becoming a god. Right? I'm this close as becoming a god, and I need to get this peach back to that dude up in the mountain within 1 day. So I can't. I really can't. You know." The lady said, "Oh, well, how are you going to get the peach then?" And the guy said, "Well, I don't know. Like, uh, can I give you an IOU? Like, when I become when I become a god, I can like give you something." And the lady said, "Well, I don't know. Okay, how about this? You promise me that we'll be lovers in our next lifetime." The time is now 4 p.m. The guy's like, uh, this sounds vaguely familiar. I vaguely remember that I got tricked by this before. I'm like, no, 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 no. I told you, I'm going to become a god. I'm going to become a god. Like, I'm going back to heavenly court. There's not going to be another lifetime. Okay? Ladies, oh, well, then we got a problem, right? If you can't get the peach, you can't become a god. But if you want the peach, then you have to make me a promise or sleep with me tonight. Well, the godling started thinking, um, well, what if I throw a maybe in there? Like, and so he said, "Okay, tell you what, give me the peach, and maybe we'll be lovers later." Oops! The guardian angel appeared in front of him. "No, no, 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 no! You flipping idiot! You screwed it up again! You are a piece of the Jade Emperor. You can't just lie to people. You can't make this kind of maybe promises. Okay? You just failed your test. You might as well kill yourself now because you just messed it up. Your only purpose in life is to become a god, go back to the heavenly court, and get reunited with the Jade Emperor, and you just messed it up. You might as well start over." So yeah, the guy, heartbroken, threw himself off the top of the mountain and went bye bye again. And his soul get reincarnated into another royalty, and then he become a young royal prince. Grow up, yes, he's the strongest in the kingdom, the smartest, the good, the best looking, and the age of 12, blah 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 blah. I'm getting tired just telling this story. Okay, third time around, blah blah blah. 12 years old, father died. He succeeded the king, become the new king and ruling the kingdom, the best king they ever had. And then one day, yes, you guessed it, the guardian angel showed up in front of him. Okay, listen up. I am your guardian angel. You are not here to enjoy a kingdom. Your only purpose here is to become a god. So you need to go into the mountain and blah, 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 blah. Okay? Pay attention. You got to study hard and learn magic so you can go back to the heavenly court. We heard this twice already, so I don't really need to repeat all that, right? So, okay, the prince gave away his throne, go up into the mountain, and found uh, uh, a beautiful oak tree growing out of the side of a cliff. So he sat down underneath that oak tree at the edge of the cliff, and he stayed there for 40 years. Yes, the first time was 25 years, second time was 30 years, this time 40 years. 40 years. And this time he was ready. He was magnificent. He even passed the test. And no matter what people said to him about next life, afterlife, anything like that, he kept his mouth shut. Okay? He learned his lesson this time. And he was able to go back up into the heaven. Um, Once he go back into the heaven and met his predecessor, the Jade Emperor, the real Jade Emperor himself, the real Jade Emperor was really impressed. He's like, "Whoa, look at you, dude! You're only a piece of my soul, and you're almost as powerful as I am. It would be a shame to take you back and get rid of you and just like make you part of me again. I can really use you, someone of your caliber. This would be almost like having two of me to rule heaven together. This is great. Um, Tell you what, go to the northernmost end of heaven, and you will from here forth be known as the Lord of the North. You'll be uh, Zenwu, Lord Zenwu, the Lord of the North. And I'm going to give you a 7 star a sword, a long sword with 7 stars etched upon it. This sword is able to slay any kind of evil being. I'll give you a robe, a long robe made out of dragon silk, and this will protect you from evil attacks. Go, and you can serve me best by becoming uh, your own god and rule the northern end of heaven. So, the newly appointed Northern Lord, Lord Zhenwu, went with his guardian angel to the northern heavenly palace. And the guardian angel, during the entire trip, was saying, "Well, this is a very difficult job because as part of your duty is you have to go down to the human world and make sure that all the monsters and demons are taken care of. And obviously you can't do that on your own. So there's 36 generals, heavenly generals. Every one of them is like a god and goddesses themselves almost as powerful as you are. Okay, so there's 36 of them are going to be working for you. You are the one in charge, but make no mistake about it. Every one of them almost as powerful as you are, so don't piss them off. And when Lord Jianwu got to the northern palace, he looked around the big empty palace. He said, hey, wait a second. I thought you said there's 36 generals that's going to be working for me. Where are they?" And the guardian angel said, "Oh, didn't I mention it? I forgot to tell you that. Uh, because you took so long to get here, those generals they all got bored, so they decided to go down to the mortal world and start uh, doing bad things. They went down to the mortal world to cause chaos, because you are not here to govern them." Oh crap! The the newly appointed Lord Zhenwu looked at the guardian angel and said, "And so now what? Now what?" Like, you told me there's 36 of these guys, ladies, and every one of them as powerful as I am. And the guardian angel said, yeah, there's even some of them are even more powerful than you are. Lord Jen was like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? They're not here. You just said they all decided to bugger off and go down to the mortal world and become bad guys. And Guardian Angel said, well, yeah, I guess you have to go down there and beat them up and bring them back. Lord Jenwu said, great, just great. So he didn't even get to spend much time in heaven before he had to go back down to the mortal world. At least he got to go down there as a god this time, track down the 36 other gods and goddesses who are now bad guys and trying to bring them back in line. And long story short, because if we got to sit here and talk about the entire battle and how he dealt with all 36 of them, it's going to take a whole week. So, long story short, after a lot of trials and failures and uh, uh, stuff like that, after a lot of harsh battles and fights and defeats and victories, he finally was able to reunite the 36 heavenly generals that's supposed to follow in his footsteps. So, there you have it. Uh, the long, very humorous and convoluted history of Lord Zhenwu, the demon slayer, the god of the North, the 玄天上帝. Um, Another interesting little factoid I'll leave you with is this guy was originally called Shenwu, Lord Shenwu. Uh, that's his original name. But during the Song Dynasty in China, there was a Chinese emperor with the name Shen in his name. So he decreed that from that day on, uh, the Shan Wu god have to be renamed to Zhen Wu. This is why a lot of people, my generation, grew up knowing him as Lord Zhen Wu. So either Shen Wu or Zhen Wu is the same guy we're talking about. Anytime you see a guy wielding a sword with a turtle and a snake under his feet, that is the guy in this story. Oh yeah, where did the turtle and the snake come from? I almost forgot to mention that. Um, During his third reincarnation, the one that he actually succeeded in becoming a god, one of his final tests to becoming a god was his guardian angel told him that in order to become a god, you need to be able to leave behind your humanly desires, your mortal wants and needs, your hunger, your love, your hatred, your loneliness, your thirst, and all that. And all these things reside in your body, in your guts, in your lungs, in your heart. So you need to be able to leave these things behind. Now, by this time, uh, Jian Wu was so powerful, he almost a god by this time. So he didn't even think twice. He took his sword and cut himself open and pull out his entrails and heart and lungs, everything. He emptied himself out and threw his organs into a deep, deep lake. And he said, see, I just cast away all my uh, humanly desires. I'm so empty now. so so that's when the guardian angel said, "Okay, you're ready. Let's go. Let's get you to the heavenly court." Um, so a little side plot of the story is because his organs were very special, because they came from a godly body. The guy's, he's able to cast away his organ without even dying. So obviously his body is not like a normal human body, and these organs were not normal human organs. After being cast into the lake, these organs continue to live and continue to grow stronger and stronger, and eventually his entrails became a bunch of snake demons, and his heart and lungs and stomach became a bunch of turtle demons, and they started to cause mayhem in the mortal world. So, several years later, after he became Lord of the North, Zenwu heard about this turtle demons and snake demons that causing all this trouble in the human world, and he suddenly remembered, oh crap, I think those are mine. Those are my internal organs. So he had to go down to the human world and deal with these pests. And from that day on, he didn't want to kill them because well, it's kind of my fault that you guys have to grow up without me, and I just threw you in the lake, so it's my fault that you guys turned into demons. So I can't really kill. I don't want to kill you, but I can't let you go either. So I'm going to just have you under my foot. Okay? I'm going to keep my foot on each of your back, so I always know what you're up to. You're never going to go cause trouble. You'll have to just stay underfoot. So that is the origin of the turtle and the snake under his feet. I hope this story has been interesting, and I hope that you guys enjoy that brief glimpse of that piece of artwork about Lord Janwu, the demon slaying god of the North.